Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Sitting here with my tears, all alone with my fears. I'm wondering if I have to do without you. But there's no reason why I fell asleep late last night, crying like a newborn child, holding myself close, pretending my arms are yours. I want no one but you.
I get so lonely, can't let it just anybody hold me. You're the one that lives in me, my dear. I want no one but you. Whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa 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 ha ha ha, whoa. Whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Say whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha.
Whoa. I know we did Jade last week. We're doing Jade again because we're trying to summon her to sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, because she's an auntie I refuse to cast away. Like,
yeah, no, we are summoning you to sense. I will beat the ignorance out of you. Or sing it.
Yes, exactly. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Blackness Show about nothing. It's Jade and XD. Yeah, all that. Yeah, another week of debauchery, another week of mayhem, another week of genocide, bloodshed, and tears. So now, without further ado, Jade, news break.
Oh my God.
Before you begin, I do want to say, I have no political news no news break. This is a political news break.
Oh yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say for this.
Except for we did talk about it on our live, so I will say locally on the home team.
Can you feel a brand new day?
Oh my God!
Feel a brand new day.
I've got to be seen and green, nigga. I've got to be seen and green. Eric Adams was indicted, and Rudy Giuliani was disbarred.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a New Yorker.
It's a great time to be a New Yorker. Including Puffy's ass. Again, get everybody together who deserves their just fucking due.
Get that nigger out of here.
The best thing that's ever come from her. My mother hit me today and was like, have you ever heard of the show My Brother and Me? I was like, yeah, why? She was like, I work with one of the cast members' dads. And I was like, that's cute.
That's so random.
It's so random. I was like, why are you asking me this? Yes.
Is she aware of who Amanda Diva is?
No. And you know what? My father just learned who Dr. Umar is, so I'm not getting ready to do this. Not that I put them in the same ilk, but also ellipses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can only handle but so much at a time. And my father caught one of those broken clock videos from Umar and sent it to us talking about this brother is spitting. And I was like, oh God, we've got to.
You got to raise your parents differently.
Oh my God. Janet, my dad, like what?
Listen, now you understand. I'm a single mom that works 2 jobs.
You are.
Mom, you never stop. You have to raise
I'm gonna
your
start calling you
parents.
Zeba. Like,
Yeah. Title of the show.
But yes, in all seriousness, we're on day 362 of the ongoing genocide in Gaza, which doesn't even feel right to say anymore because bombing in Lebanon continues. The IOF bombed Beirut actually 4 times on Monday. And just on Friday, they killed over 84 people, including 14 medics in just 2 days. And so now there is, for any country that has supported Palestine is now being attacked, which is also part of the greater Israel, remember. So Yemen has been 10 toes down since day one. Lebanon, Iran, and now, Israel is attacking all of them at the same time. So talk to me about a hostage or about a self-defense. 100,000 people, over 100,000 people have crossed from Lebanon into Syria this month since the attacks. If you can imagine 100,000 people entering where you live right now because they have nowhere to go, they are displaced. Like, think about that amount of people literally being displaced and having nowhere to go, and then an infrastructure having to hold its residents as well as people who have been displaced. That's just a recipe for disaster, as we have continued to see all through Palestine. There were attacks over Jordan, but due to heavy censorship right now and a gag order on the media from the IOF, it's hard to get an accurate assessment of the casualties that have happened there. And let us not forget that attacks are still continuing in Gaza, with an IOF strike on a school the other day, killing 8 people. 7 were killed in a tent in the west of Khan Yunis. And multiple settler attacks, quote unquote settler attacks. They are shooting these people, and the IOF is backing it up and like standing back and letting them just do it because obviously they're all the same. As of right now, Israel has killed more women and children in Gaza in the past year than the equivalent period of any other quote-unquote conflict in over 2 decades. This is the most amount of women and children they have killed during a war, if that's even what you want to call it.
Yeah, and something tells me that they're even underreporting.
It's grossly underreported, not only because of censorship, but also because of just the pure inability to be able to count bodies, as we have discussed over and over again. Ta-Nehisi Coates went on, I believe it was CBS
News, yeah.
Got them the fuck together because they tried to spew the same rhetoric that we're hearing over and over again, and came back with pure facts. Look what's happening right in front of us. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, to be clear, it was just one specific white interviewer on the panel. The young man did the other black man, which is there. Because I don't want, because he's been getting heat, and it's like, he didn't ask, that wasn't him.
No, it wasn't. It was that one white man. I didn't even know there was if I'm being honest, I didn't even. All I saw.
The fine one who's the anchor with
I wasn't even paying him any. I was too busy looking at the stupid one, and then Ta-Nehisi get him together in the most beautiful. Oh my God, in the best of ways. I was like, this is how you respond to somebody with ignorance.
I have a very, 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 very moral compass about this. And again, perhaps it's because of my ancestry. Either apartheid is right or it's wrong. It's really, really simple. Either what I saw was right or it's wrong.
And shut it down because they had nothing to come back. It also concerns me because, I mean, obviously, what is journalism, right? Well, like, what is journalism? What is humanity? What is the UN? What is genocide? What is any of this stuff at this point, right? But it's also, on the same side of things, very maddening to realize that we knew our media was skewed, but to see how blatant they are with the stupidity, the stupid skewedness. You know what I'm saying? Like, they expect us to believe these same three stories that keep circulating over and over and over again, these same three narratives that keep circulating over and over and over again. And people are coming back with evidence, with facts. There's nothing but evidence in front of us on a daily basis. And it's just like, damn journalism, damn integrity, damn humanity. Our agenda is what is the most important. And obviously we know that, otherwise this wouldn't be happening in the first place. Yeah. But that's kind of just a roundup of what is going on currently in Lebanon and Palestine and Yemen. Keep eyes on all of them. Yemen, Sudan, Syria, Palestine. These people are trying to take over everything. And they think that they have a right to take over everything, which is why this is happening. We're also currently on day 537 of the ongoing genocide in Sudan. The battle for the capital, Khartoum, continues for the 6th consecutive day in a row. Joint forces announced that they've gained control of Kalbus, which is in West Darfur, pushing out the RSF. And SAF airstrikes on South Khartoum claimed the lives of 7 civilians, leaving others injured just the other day. At least 3,000 children have been killed by the RSF in the last 17 months of war. And very big trigger warning, but more than 5,000 children have been sexually assaulted since the beginning of this war, including 700 girls and 100 boys just since July. So it is not just, they're not just facing one thing at a time. They're facing disease, they're facing death, they're facing famine, they're facing drought, and they're facing sexual assault and extreme violence. So please constantly keep eyes on Sudan. There's a page for you all to follow if you're on social media. Modathir is his name. I'm probably pronouncing that in the nastiest American accent, but I will spell it out for you. It is at MODATHIRZAINALABDEEN. All of that will be in the description box. He's been talking about Al Janina and many other places that need help, and he provides many reliable sources for those who are looking for ways to help. So, for instance, there is I believe it's one operating kitchen in Khartoum right now, one of the last ones left, and they need donations because they are feeding over 500 families now. A week, so they're dependent upon these donations, and he provides all of the reliable links and resources on how we can help those on the ground in Sudan. Since we can't stop the larger problem, we can help with community. So those are the updates this week. How are you?
I'm okay. All things considered, this past week I haven't really done anything. Like I didn't go anywhere. I haven't had any things. Like it's been super work related and I've been super tired.
I will
say that I have been trying to I wasn't gonna watch this documentary that I'm about to tell you about, but I should tell you after the break. Okay. But I figured that because Jim said he wasn't going to, and then Jim dropped a 5.5-hour episode about it.
The length of these episodes that you talk about are so wild to me. Like, we record a lot, right? I cannot imagine sitting down and recording a 5.5-hour episode with you.
Same. But it's essentially what Jim does is what takes whatever we do on Patreon and puts it on the main show, right? So, but he has 2 different shows. It's Jim Quinn Experience, and then there's the Drive Through. Okay. So it's 4 to 5 hours on one show, which is the Jim show and then the Drive Thru, which is his co-host Brian's show. But they
Okay.
it's like if you and I had a show, like this would be Jade and XD, and then another show would be like XD and Jade, you know, that kind of thing.
Copy.
But yeah, I'll talk to you about the documentary afterwards. But let's pay some bills first.
Yes, important.
Thanks for listening to us each and every week. You know, tell a friend that we're available for new episodes every Friday. We're on Patreon. We have a Wang Dang MFing Doodle on there.
Oh, yes, honey.
Where we cover all most salacious programming.
Yeah, it gets pretty ignorant.
Some old, some new. This week we watch the Christies, Jackie Christie and Doug Christie's first reality show. Exactly. Before Basketball Wives.
A dark time in reality television.
We also revisit some moments from Black Ink Crew, New York.
A wonderful time in reality.
Yeah, it is. So we have some stuff coming and all that jazz. Subscribe to us on YouTube. It's freer than you and me. We do recaps there as well. And also some more stuff coming up for the holiday. Yeah. And check the description box wherever you're listening, because there's important things in there, like the links to get the news and for news sources that Jace talks about, as far as like links is for his GoFundMe's. I also mentioned last week that I'm producing a podcast called If Mama Only Knew with hosts Anna and Tatiana, a mother-daughter duo. I forgot to put the link in, but it is in the link. The link is in the description box wherever you're listening. So go check it out. Hit them up. Tell them XD sent you. I'll save that for after the break.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have any announcements before we go to break?
I was recently on Jiminika's podcast, The Trauma Within.
Yes, The Trauma Within.
Yes, so make sure you all go check out that episode. You know, Jiminika likes to get dupe, so I had to get dupe for an episode, but it was wonderful. She's very easy to talk to, lovely personality, super knowledgeable. She's really just a great human. And we also had her on an episode of Getting Grown, so check that out as well. But yes, I was recently on The Trauma Within, and that is all I have additionally right now.
That's all I got. Let's take a break and we'll be back after these messages. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Coronavirus suddenly has millions of people working from home. For many, it's a brand new experience that takes some adjusting. CBS's Nancy Chen has some tips from those who've done it.
And we're back. So, this documentary.
What is this?
It's Mr. McMahon. And before, it's about Vince McMahon.
Okay.
And if you don't know who Vince McMahon is who most of us would attribute to modern day wrestling, or what we know it as today, the WWF, right? Or WWE. You know, in the past, and he's had a sordid past, right? And legal history that's long. And, you know, most recently he was accused of the same thing that Puffy has been accused of, trafficking and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
But this was filmed like years before, like hundreds of hours of film of Vince, which is weird because Vince is somebody who never does interviews or anything like that because he doesn't like the people get to know him like that. And then you realize why, because it's evil. But
and looks it. I don't know how you can pass up on that.
Yeah, no, he looks like an evil villain. The reason why I bring up the documentary is because it's interesting watching sports documentaries because you get a sense of what society was like at the time. And so like in the 90s, there was a horrible attitude towards women in general, let alone women in professional sports. And so in the documentary, they talk about how like the women had to do like bra and panty matches and like wrestle in Jello.
Oh
and
yeah, mud wrestling and all of that.
Yes. And so Vince was like, and a lot of people in the documentary were like, this is why I was talking to you earlier about watching things with 2024 eyes. They were like, you know, at the time, yes, it was bad, but at the time, values were different. You know, value or how American society just hated women and shit. So they were just following the business. You know what I mean? Like we're following what society and culture does. So why, if we're a microcosm of the world, why wouldn't we reflect that? And that was so interesting because today's episode we're talking about slang and stuff, and it was just like so interesting about like the way the world typically is what dictates our entertainment, and that's scary to me.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Though it does.
Like that was my ultimate point. Is like how like the way society gets us to a point of that governs what we watch and stuff, right? So like when I think about baddies East, West, you know, baddies Midwest, I don't fucking know, but it's just like it is a representation of that. There's a whole bunch of just minority groups who are angry, and the only thing that they can do really is that they feel like they can just take this outlaw approach to like television because it'll give them a come up, when in reality it's not. It's fleeting. But yeah, I was just like, it's very interesting watching sports documentaries. Like OJ, like Chris and I were talking about OJ, the OJ doc, and we're talking about how important that was, how they talked about like almost world building, describing what Watts was in 92, and they talked about Rodney King and what led us up to this moment, like to the trial and stuff, because earlier today, we watch the news every morning. And so we watched this news clip of this white man who attacked this Mexican man on the side of the road in Woodland Hills. So you have this Mexican man who is he's a street vendor. So he was selling fruit, minding his business legally on the side of the road in a rich white neighborhood. This white man decided to take it upon himself with an axe and is hacking away at this man's like cart. Yeah, and so like clearly the guy is afraid of his life because this crazy man is with an axe, and so he videotaped the whole thing, and you see this white man just like, yeah.
Out of this story, a landmark street vendor verdict.
Yes, a Woodland Hills man ordered to pay millions for attacks on 2 street vendors. KKL News political reporter Tom Waite, live from Encino now. And Tom, the vendor's attorney is saying this verdict sends a strong message.
And it's like, well, what the fuck? Right. Sued, civil suit. The guy won 2.3 million, right?
Go ahead.
So what brought this up was this idea of like the white man was upset because they wanted to make sure that this case was in the jurisdiction that he thought he would win. So remember, if we go back to the OJ doc and the high contingency of Johnny Cochran's like case was the fact that he wanted to make sure that he had a jury pool of Negroes.
Right. Yes.
And so this is one of those times where this white man thought he could have a jury of peers who are also going to be white inside with him, and that didn't happen. So it was just so interesting just having like watching these sports documentaries and then like realizing how sports can be a microcosm or a reflection of who we are, where we are in the society, and how far we have to go if we haven't moved the needle any, you know? But yeah, that's the only thing that truly happened to me this week. I was like, oh, I got to talk to somebody about it.
I was looking at some of his cases while you were talking, and I was like, oh, he's real nasty.
Yeah, it starts from Rita, this woman and who accused Vince Jr. to that he sexually assaulted her.
Yeah.
He paid out. He settled out of court, like most of his cases. Then there was the steroid trial, which was huge, and that rocked sports in general. So essentially, remember I showed you around WrestleMania time and Jim Cornette, I showed you this video where he was going off on Phil Muchnick?
Yes.
Right. So Phil Muchnick is a columnist for the New York Post. And nobody was writing about wrestling at the time because there was like, nobody gives a shit about this. But he was, and he hated it. And he wanted to get to realize why it was. And he uncovered all of this mess. He discovered that about the Rita situation. There was another he uncovered the steroid trial, which was essentially the state of Pennsylvania provided them this doctor to make sure that they were doing all this stuff legally. Little did they know that this doctor was prescribing steroids, which was not illegal, but he was prescribing them with the intent to sell them, right? So it's like you were prescribing this to push this drug.
They're not illegal, but they are banned a lot of time, barred.
It's like,
because they're performance enhancements.
Yes, like I could go to the doctor now and get testosterone if I wanted to, if my testosterone was low.
Yeah.
Same with women. If you have low estrogen, you take pills or whatever. Yeah, so it's not an illegal thing. However, it's how you obtain it.
Right.
Is the problem.
Right.
There was that case. There was the ring boy case. Okay. Hey.
You might as well just lead into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then there was the ring boy case where
Ring boy.
they would hire young people, local talent, teenage boys who were just looking to get quick buck to take down equipment, and some execs would take advantage of them.
Of course.
Disgusting. And yeah, so there was that thing, and then there was what other legal stuff? He's had a list of things.
He got some issues at some tanning salons. You know what I'm saying? A couple of ladies in here, like trafficking. Oh, he's very nasty. Have the day you deserve, sir.
Tonight, one of the biggest names in professional wrestling facing stunning new accusations, including sex trafficking over several years. A former employee accusing WWE founder and former CEO Vince McMahon of physical and emotional abuse.
Yeah. And the reason why this documentary was an interesting thing is because Mr. McMahon was a character that ended up being developed for the show. But the problem is that character blurred lines, and we didn't know which was real and which was not. He likes to say, "Oh, it's fake," but it's like, no, nigga, we see.
No, this was you.
Yeah, the Department of Justice said so.
They always tell on themselves. Look at Puffy's signature fucking line.
Listen, it's always weird, like being older and thinking about like, oh, people are working out their weird psychosexual fantasies through their art.
Yep. Take that.
Yeah.
And then think about Bill Cosby and the Spanish Fly and, the Spanish Fly bit on his record. And like all of these people do the shit that they do in daylight, but they do it in ways where they feel like nobody's going to catch on to it. And they also feel like they are invincible. That's the other problem, is that they feel like they are above, any reprimand on any of this, and they are all getting their just due now, and good. You deserve. What happened with me this week?
How was your?
Crystal Jean hosted the Mosaic Awards, so we went to that, which was a good time. But Drew, so this was advertising and media with a specific focus on diversity, and. They had some really awesome initiatives there and ads and things that we saw. And it was one young lady who was telling her story, and her story specifically focused on her biraciality. And it was the most. She was feeling emotional as it was an awkward, very quiet moment.
At one part, coon. Is that what happened?
She wasn't black. It was other. It was another. But it was one part of the ad where she was like, I was told I was too white, and it was completely silent in the room, and Drew goes, ha ha. And the girl is on the stage. And we are in the front, and I'm like, Drew, oh my God. And he was like, oh my God, I did not mean for that to come out like that. He's like, but I just don't want to hear nobody talk about they're too white.
I don't.
No, nobody does. But it was how quiet it was. Ha ha. And then biggest day, they have a big sign that's like Crystal West table. And I'm like, don't embarrass this bitch in this beautiful ass dress. So that was that happened this week. What else happened this week? Oh, I discovered that Silky Nutmeg Ganache has a doppelganger. Google a lady by the name of Davinia McFadden. Go ahead. I'll wait. She look like Silky, don't she?
She does.
A lot.
She does.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, she does. She looks exactly like. She's an actress.
Yes, she's an actress. She looks just like Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
She does.
What else happened this week? I think that was pretty much it. I told you I forgot my kid. And thank you all for all of the recommendations, because Miri Ben Ari is a Zionist. And so, a lot of the listeners put me onto some black women violinists to share with Noah. And, I would prefer to do that anyway. So thank you so much for that. I know we have talked about the fact that we both like Fresh Off the Boat. And I found myself watching a couple of random episodes whilst washing dishes. One of those young men did he did a remake of Rent at school. And I need you to watch that episode. I need you to watch. I'm going to find what, I think it's season 4.
That's weird, because I definitely watched the whole series during lockdown, so I have to really think.
All of the kids, they were like, why is everybody getting the flu? And all the kids, they were like, instead of, everybody's getting the flu, and then they're all, they're having their moment on stage all of a sudden, one by one. Achoo, achoo.
Oh my gosh. That's like, have you ever heard of Avenue Q?
Yes.
Was the Muppet version of
yes.
Everybody has AIDS.
Yes.
It was one of those things.
I need to find this episode and send it to you. And you need to watch it, because I was like, oh, this show is very funny. I forgot how funny this show is very fucking funny. Oh, yeah. Especially the way they be going at white people. Oh, very fucking funny. What they tell them, they were like, can you let go of your something for a second? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, nothing much has gone on this week. I've been in the same mode. Filmed something with Devin that should be coming out soon. Remember, Devin was the director on Black Kitchen series, so we worked on a little ting. He's working on a project and had me a part of it for a portion, so that was a good time. But yeah, nothing exciting. I feel like I'm boring you.
Yeah, this week was very light. Nothing happened this week. I was super tired.
Yeah.
I was in the bed most of the time. I was watching TV. I was working. I haven't.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I haven't. Yeah, because my thing is this: if I'm going to work from home, and I appreciate privilege and all that stuff, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it from the bed.
Yeah, that's real.
I know it's unhealthy. Be like, get out of your room. It's only supposed to be for sleeping. Well, no, okay, whatever. Fuck you. I'm choosing to do this.
People need to do whatever they need to do for themselves.
Exactly.
And it needs to just be that. Like, if your thing is to you love your bedroom, then bitch, get in your bed and roll around in that bitch like snow. I don't give a
Like my
fuck.
beer cold, my TV loud, and working from my bed.
Like that's it. You're so American.
I am.
But we should take a little break and then come back because we're gonna discuss some slang through the ages.
That's right. Jive turkeys. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
When I first recorded that, I was afraid because I stuttered a lot worse than I currently do, although that's hard to believe.
And we're black from outer space. We're today. We're gonna talk about slang.
Yeah.
Jade has an 11-year-old, and most of the time she has no idea what her and her friends are talking about.
Skibidi bebop boo is or whatever the fuck they be saying is the dumbest. And so it sparked a conversation with me, Santana, and Robin, because we were on our way to the beach. And no, I was like, "What I
have a question, and it's super inappropriate, and I don't know."
Ask me. What is it?
Is your friend Robin a lesbian?
No, but I understand why you asked that. She's very funny though.
You picked up when I would turn down.
Yeah, no, she's not actually at all. But yes, me, Robert, and Santana were in the car, and we, with Noah, and we were on our way to the beach, and we're trying to figure out Skibidi, Riz, Boost, whatever the fuck. And Riz, I get, right? Riz, short for charisma. I think that's very cute. It makes sense. You know what I mean? But this Skibidi, Booba, push it, bump it, punk it, meow. I don't know what any of that means. And Noah was trying to explain it, and it made even less sense than when we started. And so we were like, was our slang, some of it had to be dumb, right? Like our parents had to listen to some of it and be like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? But then as we were thinking and reflecting and pontificating on what that slang was, it really wasn't that dumb. And then it got me thinking about, slang through the ages, how it's evolved, what it looks like, and all of that. So we're going to start in the 20s. We're going to start in the 20s. That's not slang. So apparently one term was all wet. That's not what you think it means. All wet describes an erroneous idea or individual, as in he's all wet. Oof, that's rough.
Meaning like they a flaw-ass individual, so they're like, oh, he wet. Like that don't make sense.
It doesn't.
The 20s, so what does that mean? See, they weren't allowed to drink in the 20s, so therefore they was
prohibition.
They can get their insults together.
Okay, some that have come through the ages but came from the 20s. Now, also, we want to keep in mind that the 20s was kind of the start of youth culture.
The Roaring 20s.
Exactly. Remember, we got us some Josephine Baker. That's where we first learned that, white men be wanting to fuck on black ladies, even though they be trying to act like they don't. But we had Josephine Baker, and, ladies was getting salacious, and they was like, no, I'm sick of, this, whatever the shit makes my ass look like the two sisters from Cinderella. What was them things called where they would boop, boop, boop when they walk?
Oh, yes, the petticoats.
Yeah, all of that. So they got sick of all that, and and all the stuff buttoned up to their fucking necks, and they had a hat on and stockings and shorts under bloomers and the Gilded Age. So This was the age of where youth culture started to be focused on. And we got the bee's knees.
I still say that.
Okay? To this day. Used to describe something or someone extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
See, also, the cat's meow.
Yeah, hey, I need to bring that one back.
Used for people and things that were outstanding. I feel like the cat's meow has just evolved over time.
Yeah, from the cat's meow to all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah,
when we get to the 90s,
to the level, cut! Like, I think,
yeah, I'm him. Like, you know.
her.
Yeah,
she.
Yeah.
Big cheese.
Should include non-binary.
Oh, them. Yeah, you're right. We need to do that. Big cheese, which refers to someone important or influential. So I guess an influencer would have been the big cheese.
The big cheese.
Which the big cheese is not really like, hasn't really gone away. Doll, a term of endearment for a pretty woman. That's where it started in the 20s. Oh, we just referenced this on 90 Day Fiancé the other way today. Sheba and chic. So used for a pretty woman and her male counterpart respectively. You know, niggas love a queen of Sheba. So we got Sheba and chic in the 20s. Applesauce, and that meant nonsense. Balderdash, when something is foolish.
I say balderdash currently.
You do say balderdash.
Yeah.
That needs to be your name. You look like a balderdash. What you drinking?
It's a cup that is a reusable cup.
Okay, all right, reusable cups. All right, I was like, it's also not Christmas time. I should have used my context clues.
Yeah, like no, I didn't go to. I don't like. No, I haven't. To be honest, I have not had that coffee in. Wow, a year.
Balderdash.
No, that's true.
No, I know. I know you have it.
Or maybe almost a year now. Yeah, I have not ever since October 6th, and I got information. I was like, I got information.
I know you
also
did.
When I realized, That's also when I realized that it's just easier for me to just get coffee elsewhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I just make it at home.
Just making it at home. Take yourself to a nice coffee shop. Get yourself some beans you like, Make that part of your ritual. And then make your little pour over coffee or your French press or your little Greca or whatever every morning. Make it ritual. Anyway, it's not what the term is. Know your onions. A creative way to praise someone who knows what they're doing. You better know your onions. I'm bringing that back. You better know your onions. Or the word, or Bernie Mac, oignon.
Oignon.
Also, see, absentively. That came in the 20s. Clearly that was for certain. Absolutely, positively.
Absentively.
Absentively. Acknowledge the corn. Now hold on. What in the?
Acknowledge the corn.
Because that sounds sexual.
That gives when Tom Cruise was in Magnolia and he was like the sex god and he was like, respect the cock. Like that's exactly what they get.
Acknowledge the corn is an American expression that means to admit to a failure or charge. Oh, take the L. Or to confess to the truth of an issue. You got to hold that L. You got to acknowledge the corn. You better know your onions.
Acknowledge the corn.
Acknowledge the corn. Okay, that's the 20s. There's more, but we can move on.
Well, I have the 1950s. wars have passed. Couple of dictators and war criminals have,
Entering our way to more.
But this was also the decade that boomers were conceived. So all of our current
problems,
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did it.
Yeah, but here's some slang terms for you, like for people, right?
Okay.
They had a lot of names for children because there was a lot of them because it was baby boomers. So,
okay,
ankle biter, that is a small child. A curtain climber, also a small child.
Ankle biters never left, but that could also be a dog. So,
yeah. I will say this birthed one of the best words that we use currently today. Queen. Meaning a popular girl. Yes, queen. Like prom queen, homecoming queen, those type of things. We also got super... Heavens to Murgatroyd. We got Super Murgatroyd, which means cool or with it.
Super Murgatroyd. That was in the 50s.
Yeah.
What a time. I feel like the 50s, like, this is going to make sense to you. The 50s was the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I would argue that the 60s would be too, but yes.
Yeah, kind of. And then the 70s was the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. The 70s and the 90s is accurate.
But the 50s was the 80s. It was like, what the fuck were we doing?
No, everything was angular and was light color.
Didn't make no sense. I love when I can say stuff that makes no sense, but you pick it up.
No, I got you.
You pick it up when I'm putting down. Don't know what decade that came from, but it's still in effect.
Apparently in the 50s, the term cheaters meant eyeglasses.
Cheaters?
Which is so funny. Yes. So like earlier, for an example, I currently have contacts in, and I forgot that I had contacts in. So I went 5 minutes ago to put on my cheaters, and I realized, bitch, why can't you see? Because I didn't need my cheaters.
I currently have a headache, and I think it's because I'm looking at my computer screen, but I don't have my cheaters on.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep those cheaters in. Same with peepers. Peepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those eyes?
I can't wait to get to the 30s with you.
Bake a biscuit.
What the fuck does that mean?
To make a record album.
We're about to bake a biscuit.
I'm in the lab. I'm cooking up.
Yes. Recording in the bathroom. Yeah. I'm in the stew. Oh, I'm about to bake a biscuit.
I'm about to bake a biscuit.
I wish I was a musician just so I could say that.
Yeah. So having a ball.
We could apply that taking a shit now too. We could just. I'm about to bake a biscuit.
Someone said, what was I watching? And they were talking about brewing a cup of coffee. Oh, and that's what they meant when they had to take a shit. Brewing Folgers. That's what it was.
Oh,
they
my
were
oh my God.
Folgers.
What's wrong with your stomach, royalty?
Yeah,
but Noah be coming. I told you she be trying to be slick, but it's funny. She comes to the house talking about, woo, I gotta take a shiitake mushroom. And I feel like she's so annoying.
Oh my God.
She's so annoying.
Let me see. So there's some. I think I have one more that we use all the time. That I think I feel like all of us have said this at least once this week. Cooking with gas.
Oh yeah. Now you're cooking with gas. You're cooking with fire. Yes. Oh, this is dumb. Okay. Slanguage of the 30s.
Oh, okay.
All right.
look at Harlem after sundown.
Instead of saying I'll be seeing you, Abyssinia. That's why they call them churches, Abyssinia. Abyssinia.
No. No.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Butter and egg man, a man with money. That
because you needed
yeah,
because butter and eggs was expensive.
Okay, it still is. It still is in the 2024s, nigga. That's a butter and egg man.
Harry Gold is like fucking $10 now.
Eggs and coffee. That means things are running smoothly. That sounds disgusting.
That sounds like a shiitake mushroom.
Exactly. They really had a thing because the next one is gasser, which was a great time or something very funny, which could also be evolved into you gassing it.
Yeah.
Kind of. No. Something very funny? No, I guess not. That's putting 10 on 20. When did that come to be? When did whatever Tierra Marie said that in 2014? You know, looking at this, there's a reason why the 30s was depressed because this language is nasty. They
didn't have time to be witty or funny.
They didn't. They did not.
They was trying to survive the Dust Bowl, honey. Ma Jode was like, shit ain't sweet. I don't have time to be colorful.
They said, you talk to the bricks. That means you dressed up. You sharp. A trip for biscuits, a task that yields nothing. Everybody was obsessed with biscuits.
This one gentleman I follow on TikTok or YouTube, actually, he's a chef or cook. And he does like cooking from yesteryear. So he gets old cookbooks. And B. Dylan, God, I'll post it. But like he'll go through like cookbooks from the 50s and 30s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is some outlaw shit. So like I remember one day it was just a whole bunch of like depression meals. And it was just like they would make shit out of like
Miracle Whip.
That's how we got potato candy or like mayonnaise bread and shit like that. Like they was making bread out of any fucking thing. It was wild.
Potato candy. Wait, now hold on.
Potato candy from the Great Depression. Just like my relationships, candy is inevitably unhealthy, so potato seems a peculiar addition. Peel and boil one russet. Ah! This recipe only has 3 ingredients, so I'm a bit scared. Your time has come. At 8.
You never had potato candy? I've had potato candy. When it's almost like taffy.
Oh, I don't like that. That pinwheel, the pinwheels. I don't like that.
Yeah, but potato candy, they sell it at the the fair and stuff.
Yeah, and they sell it at the
like
the candy store on the Lower East Side.
The one that's not the one that the one with all the candy and
yes.
Yeah.
By weight. Okay. Here we go. Now here's some things that were useful coming out of the 30s. You know how we have Snapple Facts? Or wherever, who has them now? Tazo Tea. Whoever be having little things to tell you. Let me put a bee in your bonnet. Know something interesting.
That's 10 on 20.
Let me put a bee in your bonnet. Okay. Sourdough. What do you think sourdough was?
All day dick. I don't know.
Counterfeit money.
That's clever.
Okay, actually. I like that. I like
That's
that.
Clever. That's clever.
I like that. We'll leave the 30s there because, again, depressed. Depressed. Sourdough. I'm bringing that.
Yeah, sourdough. Let's take a break. And we'll be back with more decades with Jade and XD. Hey to Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Texting "Let's go out for lobster" just got easier. A new lobster emoji will be released along with more than 150 others. The Maine senator pushed for the lobster emoji. Others to be released in June include a bagel, a mango, a pirate flag, a redhead, and a mosquito.
Oh, good. So now we...
All right, and we're back. We're going slang of the decade.
Slanguage.
And we have moved towards the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Flash forward the 90s of the of the century. Yeah. Pre-90s, if you will.
Yeah.
This is also, we have a lot of slang that we currently use. So, crib, apartment or home, place of residence. This one is a little weird to me. It means I have to hurry and leave. And I guess now that I read it, I realize what it's short for. But the term is, I got a skitty.
That sounds
I got a skedaddle.
Again, another term that sounds like taking a shit.
Yeah, I got a skitty.
I got a skitty.
Peace,
Oh,
love,
that would be short for skedaddle.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Peace, love, and granola.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye and positive wishes. What's cracking?
Oh. Okay, that came from the 70s.
What it is.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, hi, what's up?
Can a nigga get in them guts? That came from the 70s too.
Now, a lot of these things I say still. Bomb, meaning that's the bomb.
Yeah.
Far out.
Mm-hmm.
Funky.
Mm-hmm.
Groovy. I love groovy.
Groovy ghoulies.
Groovy ghoulies. Nifty. Off the hook. We need to bring that back.
That's off the hook. We do. Let's bring it back. Fuck it.
Let's bring it back.
Finna get
Out of
crunk.
sight. Rad, radical, slamming.
Yeah, rad came from the 70s? I thought rad came from the 80s.
And a lot of these things we all know, like Casanova.
Mm-hmm.
A brick house.
Yes, a lady who is stacked.
Mm-hmm. We can't say that word anymore.
Oh.
The S word. S-P-A-Z. Meaning klutzy person. Someone who is acting silly.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of rip-off. There's like some things that just are casual and regular conversation.
But they came from, they were language that came from the 70s.
Chilling at the pad.
Oh, the pad. The pad was the crib.
Gotta get your groove on.
I gotta get your groove on.
Jive talking, take a chill pill.
Jive talking is like lying, right? Or you talking reckless?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mother says this all the time about people, and I told her not to say this about people, but she'd be like, oh yeah, they was out to lunch, meaning like they...
Yeah, my mother says they are not fast. And yeah.
Oh, my favorite phrase we got from the 70s. Tripping.
Oh.
You're tripping, Serena. No, I'm not.
Like, that is a black, like...
You see the staple, like a staple decade. solid foundation. Yes.
Catch my drift, catch you on the flip side.
Pick up what I'm putting down. Oh, do you copy? Shorten down and just copy.
Stop dipping in my Kool-Aid, which means stay out of my business. 10-4, meaning I understand. Like... Yeah,
and then you take it to the 90s. You say all up in the Kool-Aid. Don't know the flavor.
Don't know the flavor. Yeah, but that was the 70s. That was the 70s. Like,
okay, now the 40s. The 40s was better than the 30s. But we did get some staples from the 40s. Ace came from the 40s, but it was not your best friend. An ace was a person with a high level of expertise. Let's see. Broad woman. Chicken, a coward. So that came from the 40s. Chrome Dome. It's a bald-headed man.
Tech 9, but the AK chrome to your dome.
Chrome Dome. Cold fish, a boring person or someone who is not very responsive. Cookie, a girl who is cute. That's also what I call Noah. Okay, get out of here. Crack up, to burst out laughing. So that came from the 40s. I'm cracking up. Dame, another, let's see. A dead hoofer, a bad dancer.
Like dead, meaning hoofer, meaning like dead feet, I'm assuming.
Michelle Williams was the dead hoofer of Destiny's Child.
Damn, she was minding her business, and all of a sudden, here comes a missile out of
because
nowhere.
I was trying to think of somebody else who's a really bad dancer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a cheap shot, huh? That was a cheap shot. That was cheap.
You weren't
drip.
wrong, but that's not the point.
Someone who was boring, I know, because that's right, girl. You better bend that back. A ducky shin cracker was a really good dancer. So that Omarion is a ducky shin cracker.
What?
An eager beaver. You know, and a very enthusiastic person or someone who's very excited to help. Geezer came from the 40s.
Oh, I like geezer.
Yeah, that never went away. Glitterati, wealthy or famous people with high profile. That came from
That's
the 40s.
never gone away either. They still say that.
Hipster came from the 40s. Someone who is very tuned into popular culture and current trends. Now used as a...
That's kind of the anti...
Well, remember when Republicans were Democrats and Democrats were Republicans, and now they're the same.
What did Del say in Hairspray? When did we get to be so integrated?
Okay. What did we say in Jade XD? Bring segregation back.
Segregation, but
separate but equal.
Would work if it was done correctly.
Separate but equal.
The problem is y'all had the wrong niggas in charge.
You know what came from the 40s?
Women in charge, this would have worked.
Queer.
So, ABC show next week. Hold me to it. I need to show you.
Write it down right now.
Oh, I will remember.
Okay.
Trust me. There is a short film / documentary about Queen's English, and it talks about how gay men's vernacular has evolved over time. So there is this video where you have, how do you say this? Down low white men, I guess. So like, there's one white man who is like sitting on a beach.
Yeah. How would they say you got dust in your eye?
Yeah, so they have like code words and things. And it's so fascinating.
Can I help you build a treehouse?
Yeah, so like in this video, they have like, they talk in like almost poetic type stanzas. And then when they realize who each other, once they've established.
Who they are.
Oh, yeah, then it turns into what you kind of recognize now, like, oh, bitch, I was sucking dick, blah, blah, blah. But in such a coded way. Like, after you listen to them talk, you be like, oh, they talking about sucking dick. Got it.
Maybe that's what we got fellatio.
But it's so interesting. But yeah, I will show you that next week. It's
okay, yeah, I want to watch that.
What it's called, the language, but it's Queen's English essentially, and these white men, and it's evolved over time, and yeah.
Well, the last three that I'll give you from the 40s. Oh, actually, the last four, we got quite a few things. Cut a Rug came from the 40s.
Oh, I did not say that earlier this week.
Cut a Rug. Brainchild came from the 40s. Above My Pay Grade came from the 40s. That's because the 40s came after the 30s.
Also, total side note, support your union workers who are on the docks.
Absolutely.
Who are fighting,
everywhere.
Paid for what they Oh,
everywhere. Sugar daddy came from the 40s. A
Need one of
wealthy
those.
man who supports a woman. Decked
Need
out,
one of those.
dope, not drugs. Information about dope was used in the 40s as information about someone, as in an update on the person's situation, scoop, or gossip.
Oh, so like, what's the skinny? What's the dope on this person?
Yes. So dope has evolved in multiple ways. Yep. Hot diggity dog, goof, mug.
Hot diggity dog.
You said you pulled up the 90s?
I did.
And what they're talking about in the 90s, even though we knew.
Oh, I'm about to put you on.
The bomb. Let's get crunk. Tight.
The 90s were a time that this is very fun, and this is probably what we know mainly today, right? So I'm gonna go to this. That is a huge one.
Yeah, that means all right. Okay,
yes.
Copy, got it.
All that in a bag of chips. There has been plenty of talk shows of the 90s with that title.
Yeah.
Jerry, Jenny, Geraldo.
Yeah.
All the G's.
Yeah.
As if.
As if.
You know, remember, there was a time that late 80s, early 90s was also the birth of the Valley Girl.
Vocal fry.
Valley Girl, yes, the vocal fry. And the Valley Girl was it's interesting because I watched a documentary on this news documentary about the Valley Girl. Janet Jackson was in it. How about that? And they were talking about
white daddies.
Yeah, essentially. They were talking about how like the evolution of language and how the vocal fry is a symbol of like wealth or like being from a suburban middle class upwardly mobile type of thing. And it's true when you think about the people who speak in that way.
Yeah. They
typically come from a socioeconomic background that's not like us. You know? So the 90s, this one word we could attribute, we know exactly where it came from. I know exactly where it came from. Wayne Carter gave us bling.
Let me tell you, hold on, wait, pause. It was an evening. I don't remember what year exactly.
Picture it.
But I was watching an award show with my father and my sister. I believe it was the BET Awards, but I could be wrong because, they were all pretty good back then, believe it or not. So we would watch the MTV, we'd watch the BET, we'd watch the Soul Train, we'd watch all of them.
Specifically Lady of Soul Awards, because that was very different from the regular Soul Train
Yes,
Awards.
they were very different. I even went to the Ozone Awards. Now, Cash Money won an award for their song and got up on the stage and gave, their thank you speeches, thanked God in the hood and all of that.
All people they shouldn't be able to thank based on the content of their music.
Yeah. And then at the end of that, before they got off the stage, Lil Wayne got in that microphone and said, "Bling, bling, baby." And everybody joined and said, "Bling, bling, baby. Bling, bling, baby."
Yeah.
It was a moment in time.
A moment for the culture.
It really was. I'll never forget it. And I remember when bling became slanguage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many that I can't. Well, I have to read them.
Okay.
There's my favorite. Halle Berry has made this very popular. There is a film called Black American Princesses, otherwise known as BAPS.
The Booyah? Yeah! Booyah. Live large and take a charge, big boy.
Big charge, big boy.
Booyah!
Yeah. Followed by the bomb.
Yes.
Don't go there. that was the birth of Sass.
Yes.
The birth of Sass, honey.
No, and you know what the white version of "Don't Go There" is? Why I order.
Exactly. Hey there, buddy. Oh, eat my shorts. Oh yes, thank you, Bart.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, but I never. Did anybody actually use that?
Eat my shorts.
Little boys.
I'm sure the young boys of the 90s did.
Okay.
Fly. Oh, that's Fly.
Yeah. We were all reading Fly Girl. We were all reading about what was her name? Tracy from Germantown in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, doing all of the things she didn't have any business doing. It was written by an author by the name of Omar Tyree. It's called Fly Girl, but this one was with two Y's.
Yeah, important. This next frame, I know exactly where it came from because I remember when it came out, and I remember when there was a video that was attached to it, and I still say it to this day. Getting jiggy with it. Nah.
Terrible. Getting jiggy with it was never a thing. He wanted it to be a thing.
Now as of being funny and like ironic, but
yes, but it did not catch on the way that Will thought it would catch on. Just like when he did Welcome to Miami. Nobody says Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami. Miami.
Buggin'.
Buggin' did come from the 90s. Buggin'.
Let's Bounce. One of my favorite Raven Simone. Let's Bounce Girls.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
My Bad. We say this all the time.
Yeah, my fault.
Duh. We don't say duh enough.
What do you mean? I duh all the time.
I'm just saying, like, the young people, they don't do duh on the gram or on the reels. Or
they don't do it on the socials, but I think they still say it, though, because Noah does me every now and again. And I still duh as fuck. Duh.
Yeah, that's good. This next phrase was a staple in our communities.
Okay.
Talk to the hand.
Oh, because the face can't hear you. Talk to the hand because the face ain't listening.
And there's so many more, but my last two is What's the 411?
Oh, also an incredible album.
Uno girl. And then my very last one from the 90s. And it is something that I don't think I will ever get rid of out of my lexicon. I don't think you will, or any young person who's trying not to curse. I feel like they will develop this. This was coined famously, and I say it just like them, by Raven Simone. Oh, snap. Like, oh, snap is, if you know, you know.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. That I'm nasty.
All the people who couldn't curse growing up.
What happens with snap? What happens when something snaps? What happens when something snaps? Tight. Remember Tight?
Tight. Yo, that was super tight. Then it turned into I'm angry.
Yeah, he got me tight. Yeah. Did you pull up any of the slang of today?
Oh, I did.
Bitch, I'm outside of some movie. Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a two-piece. You can have your bitch back, she a groupie.
I did. And I had to look up, I had to go and Google a parent's guide to slang.
Please tell me what skibidi eat means.
I will. Let me go through this list. Henry David Thoreau said, "It's too late to be studying Hebrew. It's more important to understand the slang of today."
Sir, little do you know how prophetic that motherfucking phrase, what you just said was. I'm just saying, words mean things. I'm
How do you figure out what the fuck Skibidi Beep Bop Dookie is? Anyway.
They also say Sigma and Alpha. I'm the Sigma because I'm the nigga. Like, yes. Okay, go ahead. I want to hear the list.
There's so many. Okay, so I'm gonna pick out some. Bet, we all know what that is. It's synonymous with okay for sure.
And that's not even new.
Yeah. So there's ate and left no crumbs. Oh, we know what that means.
Yes.
Used when someone does an exceptional job at something.
Mm-hmm.
We'd argue about this the last few weeks. Aesthetic. Now, to them, it's another word for vibe. We know that that's not the correct use of the fucking word, but to them, it means vibe.
So that's why they're using it that way. It's aesthetic. It's a vibe. Okay. You could just keep saying it's a vibe.
Mm-hmm. There's bussin'.
I do enjoy bussin'. Really, yeah. Mm-hmm. My young old coworker she put me on to bussin'. And the kids have double dip. Bussin' when it's real good.
Delulu.
Delulu living.
Short for delusional, Chiyugi?
Oh, yes. Chugi.
Which means cringy or awkward, specifically used by Gen Z in reference to trends from the early and mid 2000s. So I'm assuming this episode would be cringy or chugi.
It would be chugi.
Chuggy.
Chuggy.
A lot of these things we can figure out, like doing the most, drip, eat, ate, era.
Yeah.
I'm in my healing era. A lot of these. Girl dinner. I had girl dinner the other day.
What? Who wrote those? These are.
Well, this is a parental guide, so I'm skipping a lot of them because we know we could gather them, right? Like keep it 100.
Yes.
Because OTP. One true pairing. Used to describe a relationship you are very invested in or believe should happen. I don't care that they're from different TV shows. They're my OTP. One true pairing.
Is that like fantasy football but for couples?
Yeah, like shipping. I thought we used to ship people.
Wait, what?
Like, you know what I mean? Like relationship people, like that was the term for a while.
Oh,
like,
was it?
When they were trying to force Jon Snow and his auntie lover in a relationship in Game of Thrones. They were trying to ship them. So I guess this could be somebody's OTP. You know
okay,
what I mean?
I've seen that before, and I didn't know. I thought it meant on the phone.
Roman Empire. Originating in a trend where women discovered that many men think about the Roman Empire more than you'd expect. The term has become shorthand for any topic that someone thinks about often for no particular reason. Example, I think about the Radium Girls at least twice a week. They're my Roman Empire. So the slap at the Oscars is my Roman Empire. Because I randomly think about it when I get quiet and settled.
Cults are my Roman Empire.
Yeah, they're your Roman Empire. That's so interesting.
Okay.
There's sending me. That's a gay term. Making me laugh. That ain't it, Chief. Okay. Maybe we're not.
I don't hear the children saying any of these though. So I feel like a parent wrote this parent guide.
Yeah. No, because they have things like get, which is short for goddamn, and that has turned into when people talk about other people's backsides. Looks maxing. Have you heard of this term?
No.
Oh, of course you wouldn't have. Neither would I. Looks maxing, a term arising from the incel, involuntary celibate community on the internet, which refers to becoming more attractive by improving hygiene, hair, and fashion sense.
Looks maxing is any attempt to improve your appearance. Anything from a simple shower all the way to getting surgeries. Today, I will show you how to looks max every part of your appearance. All of you watching can go from an average 4 out of 10 guy to an 8 out of 10 with no surgeries by the end of this video.
For example, I've been looks maxing lately. I think it's paying off. You do look better. I think it's just because you're washing your hair now. So is looks maxing just taking a fucking shower and getting your hair cut and all of a sudden that you've improved? Do incels not shower? Do they not? Here's my thing about incel. Maybe we need to have a deep dive, right? Like, involuntary celibate, that means that you can do something about your celibacy. Yes, like you can go to the gym. Like go find yourself some
put some deodorant on.
Time and time again, I have learned watching 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Prison, whatever the fuck. There is somebody out there for anybody, and somebody will
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Before Matt Sharp was even around, Jerry Springer had white people throwing up on each other, and they liked that shit. It was sexual. Mm-hmm. There is some. If you could be the I don't believe in incels. If you unfuckable,
there's no incels, just lazy people.
Yeah, I agree. Because you've got to go find your community. There's a community for everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. You still didn't tell me what Skibidi EE means.
It's not on Axis. I don't know.
Hold on. What? Oh, God. Does
I don't know.
Skibidi Bop B mean?
Because a lot of these we know, like Rent Free, Shook. A lot of slang is for whites. Like,
yeah, that's why I was like, this sounds Caucasian. Skibidi, okay, all right. Skibidi is a nonsense word that has become a part of Gen Alpha slang and is associated with a popular YouTube series. It can be used in a variety of ways, including as an adjective, depending on the context. Skibidi can mean good, cool, bad, or evil. Now, wait a minute.
Hold on a second. The Skibidi word comes from extremely popular YouTube series Skibidi Toilet, which features sentient toilets with human heads battling humanoids with electronic devices for heads. What
the fuck?
With the world
today? Skibidi Bop originated from a meme where a big dude makes belly bounce. Wait, what?
None of this makes sense.
A meme said mere seconds before a scenario like an explosion will happen. What? No, that's 22. Okay, no, this is not correct. This is Skibidi Bop Dada.
Yeah, I don't know, dog. These are weird, and I don't.
Cool, bad, or dumb.
They don't even know what this means. That's how lost they are as a generation.
It can also be used as a way to start a joking conversation in reference to absurd slang culture.
I also hate how these young people just say type shit after everything.
Oh my god, it drives me.
Like what? What does that mean? Speak English. Like what do you mean? No, it's weird and strange.
No. It's not the type shit because type shit is not new. I don't like when they use the type before. Would it be like that's type, whatever the fuck, like that's type. I don't know. See, I don't know. But they'll be like that's type something. I'm like, what is that? Why would you put that before? What does that mean? Type shit is not new, but type whatever the fuck is.
Yeah, the young people struggle with adverbs and things.
They did their big one with standing on business, though. And they did their big one with did their big one.
Yeah, they did. I'm not going to hold you. They did that. But I think that's today's slang. I feel like
slanguage. Slanguage through the times.
This episode title has changed like 48 times on a Friday. But I think I've landed
what did you have before?
It was Zeba first. And then it was acknowledge the corn. And now we're at Slangwich.
Honestly, that all sounds like 2024 slang. So you should call it all of that. Zeba acknowledged the corn. It's language.
Acknowledge the corn is funny. All right, y'all. It's time for us to go.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next time.
Bye.